Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with jazz poet and singer Julia Werup. We interviewed her on July 31st, 2020 during the odd COVID-19 world of no live music to talk about her latest 2020 CD, The Thrill of Loving You. In her early 20s, she relocated to Copenhagen, and that city would soon become her base. She became an active part of the techno scene, expanding into electronic, deep house music through collaborations with some of the genre's most distinguished DJs. Get to know her. Dig this interview.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. I just arrived to my summer house in the south, the very south of Sweden, with my girlfriends and my son. So we're just sitting here now in the sun, reading books.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for taking a minute out for Neon Jazz. I appreciate it.
Of course. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. So I guess that's the first thing here with the global pandemic happening. Talk to me a little bit about, kind of how things, I know everything shut down live and things have been permanently altered, but talk to me a little bit about how you're coping through this pandemic as a jazz musician.
To me and my little family, it's been quite easy actually because, as I told you, I just recently became a mother, and my son, he's 10 months now, so we've been at home most of the time. We live in a houseboat in the harbor of Copenhagen, a big houseboat. So we've been there most of the time, and my fiance, he has his studio there as well. So we've been, whenever we have time, when the baby is sleeping, we run out to the studio and we're trying to create some music or whatever we do. Recording different things. I've been very busy as a mother during the past 10 months. So we've survived.
Good deal. Well, I'm curious because America is kind of spiraling here with the pandemic, and you're talking about Copenhagen and Sweden. So things obviously are going better for you all, correct?
Yeah. I believe so, yeah. I was so stupid the other day because I thought that our TV was, too ugly. So I just removed our television. And then I realized that, we can't see CNN. What's going on with the States these days? So, so I guess I have to catch up a little. I haven't seen the news in a week now.
Well,
but I was talking to my cousin, and he lives in San Francisco. But he is like in lockdown and walking around with a mask and all that. So
that's what we're doing too. California's kind of in a different boat, but things keep spiking. I'm still very confused by all of this. There's nothing that makes any sense.
Do you have to wear a mask too as soon as you
like if you go into a business, you do. I mean, if you're outside walking around or you're in your car or whatever, it's it's fine. But yeah, once you get around people or you get into a certain area, it's like we've been on an order in our county here in Kansas City for weeks, maybe even a month now, and I'm just still surprised that numbers keep spiking. So yeah, I'm not sure, and we're trying to figure out when school is going to start. It's just a big question mark is all of this is. There's nothing that makes sense. So, but I do know one thing for sure, that the people that are leading this country, it's 100% of this going wrong in America is because of leadership in this country. Not even 99.9%. I
agree.
So I do know that. That's the only thing that I know.
Yeah.
But at any rate, you have an album, The Thrill of Loving You, and did that come out in 2020?
Yes.
Okay. So it must be kind of weird to have an album come out during a pandemic. You can't back it up live, but people can listen to it more. What are your feelings on this coming out now?
Yeah, I guess. You're right, because I was really looking forward to come out and play, and I'm still hoping to. I'm going to have a meeting with like a booking agent in a couple of weeks. So I try to stay positive because I can't wait to come out and play with the trio, my Swedish dudes and my fiance and drums. That's definitely going to be dope. But yeah, it's sad because I mean the album is out and Corona is taking over the world, and I guess all we can do is just I'm just waiting, but I'm trying to keep myself positive.
Well, talk to me a little
Hoping
bit.
for better times.
Yeah, me too. So, talk to me a little bit about how your music journey began. Like, where were you born and raised, and how did jazz become your life?
Okay, yeah. Well, I grew up in the very countryside in the south of Sweden. My dad was a jazz musician and a famous writer in Sweden. My mother was a translator. She was translating from Swedish to French. And they spent years in Paris, and my mother got pregnant, so they decided to move to the countryside in Sweden. So I was born there on a field. My dad was writing, and I don't know. He was like rehearsing all the time in the house, and always listening to different kind of jazz music. So I kind of really, from a really early age, I grew up with jazz. He was playing the sax. So like he was listening to Dexter Gordon and Miles, of course, and all the big jazz names. So I I grew up with it, and he took me to different jazz clubs while he was playing, and so it became just like jazz was a part of my life. I mean, from a very early age, and first of all, I always said to my parents that I want nothing to do with culture. I just want to do something completely else. I hate you, cultural people working with this and that. And, you know, and then when I became a teenager, all I wanted to was like partying around the south of France with stilettos and short dresses to provoke my dad. Because he was in the art scene and like a cultural worker. And so, but then I grew older, and when I was around 20, 22, 25, I began to sing, and I was like creating a small band in Copenhagen, and I also began to write. And I don't know, I guess I couldn't resist anymore because it came to me very naturally. I never went to any school. I never learned how to sing or how to write. It just came to me. And
so, talk to me. What was the first show that you ever saw live that really made you think, "Man, this is wonderful"?
I think it was something in France when we were living there in Paris. There was this small, but I really don't remember any names. But I was very, very young. I really don't know about that. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So, what do you like the best about being a musician?
Well, I'm not only a musician. I actually went to school as well. I was studying something completely different. I was studying social work, actually, because my mother, she kind of forced me to educate myself and go to school and all that. So I did that for her, actually. But I never worked with it because I believe music was so much more fun and free, because I don't want that kind of life working from 9 to 5. And I guess that's why I like being an artist from time to time. I'm like my own boss. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we do come out of COVID-19 and, you know, live music starts back up, what do you hope both the musician and the audience realizes from this time away?
Maybe people have become more settled. Maybe they are digging more into themselves. I mean, this has been a time when you actually can reflect, and I don't know, maybe some people are able to, you know, put their phones down and actually, I don't know, whatever, do yoga or meditate or just kind of like look into themselves and think more. I believe people are not thinking enough these days. Everything is going on the phone, on Instagram, on social media and all that. I think it's very important to just stop and sit down and think. I mean, that's underestimated. I believe that's really good for each and everyone to take 5 minutes, during the day.
Yeah, I agree. Let's say you come to Kansas City to play a live show. What is a live show experience from you like?
I guess it's quite edgy. I'm also reading my poetry in between the numbers. I released 2 collections of poetry. So I guess if I'm going to the States, I guess I have to start translating my poetry so I can read something in between numbers. And I don't know. I just like to perform. I like to perform. My voice is very imperfect, so I'm not a perfect singer. I don't want to be that either. That's not why I sing. I mean, I never went to any vocal coach or anything like that. I just do whatever I like, what I feel like, and so I want to combine singing with reading. So that's what you can expect.
Right on. So my final question to you is this. Everyone has a version of you or a perception of you, your family, your friends, your fans, but you're living your life. Who do you think you are?
I am a very open-minded, free spirit. I'm not a perfect human being. I make a lot of mistakes all the time, but I'm a hell of a good mother. Is that enough?
That's it. That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Hey, thank you for taking a minute out for Neon Jazz today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Copenhagen, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Julia for her time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.